Welcome to Queen City Cyber Consulting's channel.
Good morning, Queen City Cyber Consulting followers, explorers, cybersecurity, knowledge seekers. It is August 20th, early in the morning. And if you don't have a threat intelligence unit or threat intelligence capabilities, this is for you. You need to pay attention to this kind of information because we in the cybersecurity community are seeing a targeted threat attack. This is phishing as a service, or PHaaS. They are using adversary in the middle, session hijacking, and they are targeting U.S. companies via Microsoft 365 enterprise credentials. Since many organizations and businesses use Microsoft 365, this should be of interest to you. There will also be some indicators of compromise as we go through this information. Now, this was put out by a online company called AnyRun, and we will be referring back to some of their work throughout this process. And I just want to give credit where credit is due. They're the ones that discovered it. They're the ones that issued the initial bulletin. All I did was correlate the information and put it together to pass it on to you, which is what a threat intelligence analyst does. So, what are they doing? Well, you have Mirage two-factor authentication intercepts. And what they do is they intercept the authentication flows in real time, which bypass your multi-factor authentication, or MFA, allowing them to hijack your M365 enterprise sessions. For some people, that's a little wordy, and there's a lot of acronyms and words in there that you probably are not going to understand. But if you work in IT or manage a 365 environment, you know what I'm talking about there. You really need to pay attention to this kind of information. So really, what are we seeing in this attack? Well, right now, as with most cyber attacks, it is a global event. However, the focus, excuse me, is on U.S. enterprises. And right now, AnyRun is saying that what they're seeing is around 63.7% U.S. enterprise target share. That's pretty high, which would indicate to me that if you're, again, are a U.S. company, you should pay attention to this information. It does span 94 countries, and given that the U.S. enterprise target share is so high out of 94 countries, it's definitely notable. So far, it's showing around 2,885 confirmed target engagements. What sectors are being targeted? Well, number one is technologies at 19%. Manufacturing is next at 11%. Education comes in at 9, almost 10%. And it goes down from there. So as you can see, these are very high exposure rates, which means if you're in one of these industries, again, take this information, make it actionable, do something with it. Don't just sit back and say, nothing for us to worry about. We're just a small company. That's not how these things work. So who are the threat actors? Well, it's a commercial PHaaS operation that is managed by a group called Linux Coders. And they basically supply and sell automated AITM reverse proxy toolkits to other criminals who want to use them in order to gain access to your email systems. Again, Linux Coders, they operate on Telegram and use exfiltration bots. Their core objective is to intercept M365 credentials, get one-time codes from two-factor or multi-factor authentication, and steal persistent OAuth session cookies. And then that allows them to either resell the access to other criminals or commit business email compromise. It comes through browser attachments. That's an interesting thing. Browser attachments, HTML, XHTML, or SVG files. Then maybe inline QR codes that need to be scanned, or it could be bulk Amazon SES email relay infrastructure. So, what's going on with the attack in real time? So, let's take a quick peek here. So, here's any run. If you don't utilize this site, I highly recommend it. This is just an example. So, we can see that the file that was uploaded is called quarantinemessage.zip. So a business somewhere, organization, received this suspicious email message and ran it through any run in order to break down what was occurring. So you can get a lot of useful intelligence by going to these kinds of uh, systems and reviewing the information that's there. Now, any run does a really fantastic job um, breaking these things down for you. It's actually an online sandbox. If you don't know what a sandbox is, you need to learn that. It allows you to run a sample safely in a safe environment to figure out what's going on. And it actually provides you with a lot of information, as you can see here. But just looking at it visually. So what's going on here? Well, here we have whoever's running it has the file saved into a folder. It's a zip folder and it's password protected, as we'll see here in just a minute. And they want to extract it into the any run environment so they can run it. And that's what's going on here. So they're going to enter their password, and there it is. It's an Outlook message, as you can see from the screen. They open it up in Outlook. There it is. Screen goes quiet. And here we see an actual image of the email itself. And as you can see, it's an HTML file that is embedded within the file. Opens up a Microsoft connection there, or seeming Microsoft connection. We'll just keep going. Now it says verify you're human. And this is where a lot of end users are going to get fooled right there. They have to go through the little process. And now we are at enter your password. And this is where passwords get stolen, because this is a fake Microsoft sign-on page. See if there's anything else here. Make sure I don't miss anything. So now you get the error message. You entered your password. Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't work. Would you like to try it again, or would you like to reset your password? Then it gives you a breakdown of the script within the email. And as you can see, you can go through the entire process of what's going on here. I'm just going to walk through it as slow as I can. They're going to decode some of this as they go. And that is the end of the visual representation. But it gives you a feel for how the attack progresses, what the end user is going to see. So you could take some of screenshots of that and actually use it to create an end user helper to warn them that this kind of attack is going on right now. So here's the results. You can go through and take a quick look at it. You can open up process graph and then drill down into this to see exactly what's going on. You see it opens up MS Edge here, Notepad over there. Not a lot of really great info here, but this is where the phishing actually occurs, is right there. Gives you a great process setup over here so you can see what's going on there. And so when this kind of thing comes out, you can get some IP addresses of where it's connecting out to, DNS requests over here. You can look at network threats. So here you see possible social engineering attempted. not suspicious files. These would all be worth really exploring to see what's going on. And there you have the command line. Here is phishing detected and attempting to connect via WebSocket. So going over to AnyRun gives you a really great breakdown of this attack flow. So what happens, the victim, as we saw, opens an attachment, usually obfuscated HTML, moves on, sets up that WebSocket proxy, and commits the theft of the credential so that they can get themselves back in. About almost 50% is session cookie theft. There's also password and two-factor authentication capture at 32%, and then it drops down for some other attack vectors there as well. It does use some stealth and evasion tactics. Again, zero binary malware. It operates right in your browser native scripts. So it's not like they're downloading a piece of malware. They're just running scripts within the browser. Again, file format bias. It uses standalone HTML code and XHTML files to bypass the standard email gateway rules. So if you've got an email gateway product that you think is going to stop this, it may not. You need to check on that. And it seems like a lot of people, and this is not unheard of today, of course, 33% roughly of successful logins occur on mobile browsers where your end user can't even see the full URL. So what are some indicators of compromise that you can actually take action on? Well, URI loader patterns, network logs exhibiting requests to XLS sheets or .js or a .js with this name. These are loader stubs, what they call. Also string markers. They have some static string markers, and these are placeholders, so you can actually do searches for these within your environment. And these are some of the domain infrastructure patterns. So checker, misspelled, store, and volatile sour.store. All good indicators of compromise that your industry, your business may have suffered an attack of this nature. So what are some defensive actions you can take? Well, use FIDO2 or passkey. Talked about that in another video. We're not going to delve deep into it in this one. It's something that all businesses in the world today should consider. Require device compliance. Restrict your 365 access to either hybrid joined or Intune managed devices. Don't allow your employees to access their email from their personal phones, tablets, computers, whatever it is. That way these stolen session cookies can't be reused by the attacker on their unmanaged systems. Enable continuous access evaluation. Microsoft does have a program called Intra-IDK or CAE, which is the continuous access evaluation, to instantly revoke active tokens, especially if the IP address changes or the risk detections alert on that. And inbound attachment rules, update and quarantine any inbound emails containing standalone code of the ones we've talked about, especially if they're coming from certain cloud emailers like Amazon or something along those lines. Those are all steps that you can take to help protect yourself from this attack vector. And since it is ongoing and seems to be very active in the United States, this is well worth your time and effort to investigate and take some steps, hopefully, to stop the attack before it even begins. So, welcome to Thursday. This is Queen City Cyber Consulting signing off. Go forth and conquer.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.